Hey, what's up? What's up, people? I just saw this quick little piece of the View talking about what's going on in Iran, and we all know the View is like a very liberal show, and I mean Sunny Hostin, she's not like I said, I'm not gonna call her dumb. She's an educated lady, but but they're not educated on foreign policy and things that's going on in the world. Then I feel like a lot of liberals are not educated on foreign policy and things going on in the world. Uh, but just watch this little clip, man. They had Elizabeth Hasselback on there. She just cooked her, and the other lady who's regular on here, I don't know her name, but she was cooking too. But y'all, just watch this little thing.
Despicable that we honor that the administration is trying to make this about the president. It's not about making the president look bad. We must honor our service members, and we should. And I think we can all agree.
Can I ask you? I think we are agreeing that they should all go with honor, be received with honor, because they serve with honor, and they are the best of us are serving for the rest of us, and that they have my heart for life. Right. I want to ask you why you keep calling this like an undocumented attack, that you don't agree with the war, and illegal,
unconstitutional.
So did you believe it was illegal in April of 2011 when the Office of Legal Counsel memo stated from President Obama that the president has constitutional authority to direct the use of military force in Libya because he could reasonably determine that such use of force was in the national interest prior congressional approval was not constitutionally required to use military force in these operations? Where were you then complaining?
I agreed. Well, I wasn't on the show then.
No, but personally, would you have stood against that?
I was at home complaining. No, I wasn't complaining because the Office of Legal Counsel was involved. And the Office of Legal Counsel.
This came after.
But the Office of Legal Counsel is the office in the Department of Justice, because I worked at the Department of Justice, that reviews these things and makes legal determinations. This president doesn't go through the Office of Legal Counsel. This president does not go to Congress. Congress has the power to to approve wars. This Congress has the power of the purse. This president is acting more like a king than anything else. He's the commander in chief, but he is not a king. And so I think that this should have gone through Congress. I think that the American embassies should have been notified so that American citizens in the Middle East would have been able to get to safety. I don't think that this was done appropriately. I maintain that this is illegal and unconstitutional.
Do you like the result? Do you like the result?
No, I don't.
So you would rather the regime head and those 40, 18 leaders.
There we go again. I talked about it not too long ago, the TDS, the Trump derangement syndrome, where Trump make them go against their own beliefs. It's like he did at the State of the Union when he told them to stand up, the Democrats, about if you're, the government's first duty to the American citizens, and they couldn't stand up. It's like, you cannot believe that. The regime that just got toppled, so you can't agree with the result. Like, what type of idiotic thing is that to say? You already know what type of regime it was. You can't agree with that only because it's Trump that you don't agree with this regime. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, the TDS is so strong.
This is going to be a longer conversation. Since this is going to be a longer conversation, we're going to take a break
today,
and we're going back, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're talking, and I cut you off. What were you?
Well, there were just a few things in regard to what Sunny's saying about it being an illegal war. Every modern president since Reagan has done this in attacks from Syria, Libya, Bosnia, Panama. So it happens continually, to give it context. The other thing is the travel.
What does?
That Congress has ceded this power a long time ago. And I have a lot of criticisms on Congress, and this is one of them. If you want to be part of the conversation, don't hand your power over to the presidents, which they have done. Two, the travel policy. I wanted to look this.
You know what? Congress got to hand over the power to the president, because the president's job is to keep the country safe. So if something ever happened, I don't got time to get Congress in there so they can get into it, fight, argue all day, when I need to be able to do what I need to do. That's why I was handed over to the president. It only makes sense that way.
this up because there are a lot of Americans stranded. It ends up since the 70s that the government has put countries on certain warning labels like beware, but also it is not the government's responsibility. They won't have the capacity to bring everyone back. They've changed that because that number was not, they had a number you were supposed to call that.
Yeah, the number.
That was different. But then the last thing is, the other day I talked about how whereas administrations change and it's always political, I trust often the generals in the military. 74 retired U.S. generals and admirals came out endorsing this operation and saying that since its inception 47 years ago, they have been, this regime has endangered the lives of U.S. troops, diplomats, civilians across the Middle East and here at home. Death to America, death to Israel is a chant they have used over and over. I trust that these career military generals, you can't become a general if you haven't served your whole time. These career generals have seen stuff we have not seen. And the fact that they're coming out to say, you guys, this needed to happen, I do trust
that. But I have a question. Like a lot of them are saying, and
now look, man, I for one, I support this. I've been saying wipe Iran off the map for a long time. I am a veteran. Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation Iraqi Freedom. Obviously, I'm not a general. You know, I served my time. I served 4 years. I was in during 9/11, the morning of 9/11. We pulled out of Mayport, Florida. Towers got hit under like 20 minutes after we pulled out. So we went and patrolled in the harbor in New York and left for Operation Enduring Freedom in February of 2002. And we did the first strikes off the Kennedy. I remember going anytime we go through the Straits of Hormuz, Iran have guns pointed at us. That's a no-fly day. We have a talk the night before we go through the Straits of Hormuz to start. It's always been tension between Iran and America. They ain't never like this. So I don't understand. This is something that needed to be done. I don't understand why people are mad at you. It's only they just want to go against whatever Trump does. They just want to go against whatever Trump does. You got generals, 74 generals to saying this was the right thing to do. People who are in the military in the know, and people who serve, who actually, served in some conflicts and war, they understand this is something that had to be done. But it's the people that's back home, or even probably some in the military who ain't never been nowhere, ain't never served nothing. They don't understand. This is something that needed to happen. It's good it's happening. Of course, people are going to die. We're going to lose some on our side. They're going to lose some on their side. That's just war. That happens in war. But if you're in the military, that's what you sign up for. Ultimately, that's what you sign up for. That's what it is. So, when it's time to go, it's time to go. I just feel like the U.S. have gotten so weak. Like I said, since Trump been in office, I feel like we gained some more power because at least he got some balls to go do what needs to be done. This is something that needed to be done. And you got all the liberals and Democrats with TDS who just want to go against what he's saying. This is the right thing to do. And, it's that simple. It's the right thing to do. The Iranians, all them people who complaining, take your ass over there to Iran. Even before this, they kill your ass with no hesitation. They don't give a shit about you. Another thing, people forget the 1983 Beirut bombing, the barracks bombing over there in Beirut, where the 220 Marines, 18 sailors, I think it was six soldiers killed over there. That was Iran. Iran was responsible for that. Do you know that happened in 1983? Do you know in 2004? It's recent 2004, so 21 years after that happened in 1983, and that was terrorist bombers. They did that. Iran was responsible for that. But do you know over in Tehran, Iran, in 2004, they put up a monument in Tehran, a monument of the terrorists that did that and got martyrs under it, got the name martyr under it. Like that, they celebrating the terrorists that killed these Americans. And this who y'all and these dummies over here go against their own president to boost them up. Sometimes America make me so mad how dumb they are. It's almost like they don't understand. But like I said, I feel like a lot of these liberals and Democrats, I feel like they kids, and some of the conservatives and Republicans say, you the adults. It's just like a parent. You got to do what's best for your kid. They might not understand, but you protecting them. They don't even understand it that you protecting them. As far as this thing, Trump did the right thing. Don't let your foot up off the gas. Keep your foot on the gas. Stay on their head. He did the right thing with this Iran thing. You can't let them get too powerful. Let's stay on their neck. Stay on their neck. and forget what the media is saying, what the public is saying. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm 100 in support of what he's doing. I stand behind the military and anything they doing. Blessings with them, you know. Do what you gotta do. Stay safe. And I'm always gonna stand with the military because you know I'm a veteran, so I'm always gonna stand with them. And you know, God bless them and do what you got to do. That's all I got to say about that. I don't know how y'all feel about the thing, but it's just just like I said, this stuff been going on. The one lady, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, she told Sonny Hostin just hate Trump. Most of them, her, Joy, Whoopi, they just hate Trump. So whatever he does, like she said in 2011, did you have a problem when Obama? She didn't have a problem with that. Of course she didn't. Like, oh, I was at home complaining. No, he wasn't complaining. None of them had a problem with it. You only have a problem with Trump did this. If Kamala would have won the election and she would have did the same thing, which she wouldn't have, but if she would have done the same thing, they'd be commending her. But she wouldn't have. That's another reason I wouldn't ever put a woman in a leadership position like that. As far as extreme leadership, being a president or something, we'll never vote for a woman to do that. I just don't feel like she got the kahunas to do something like this, because sometimes things got to be done, and I don't feel like she would, you know, be able to pull that trigger and get it done. But let me know what y'all think in the, you know, in this situation. Do you agree with it or do you not agree with it?